So I'll start with Honorable Member for Kafisa.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Allow me to begin, Mr. Speaker, by thanking the Member of Parliament for Mpika for moving this very important motion today, which has been seconded by the Member of Parliament for Chembe. Mr. Speaker, members of the August House may be aware that there are two pieces of legislation that guide our debate today. And the first issue, Mr. Speaker, is the Mines and Minerals Development Act, number 11 of 2015, and the Citizens Economic Empowerment Act of 2006. Mr. Speaker, the Citizens Economic Empowerment Act defines a citizen-empowered company as one which has got shareholders of equity from 25% to 50%. It also defines a citizen-influenced company of shareholders with equity from 5% to 25%. It further defines a citizen-owned company as one having a minimum equity of 50%. Mr. Speaker, I've referred to these three descriptions because they form part of the discussion around the Mines and Minerals Development Act. It is very clear from this definition, Mr. Speaker, that the people that are covered in the Mines and Minerals Development Act are not just Zambians, as envisaged by the mover of the motion. The mover of the motion is referring to Zambians. The act which seeks to empower Zambians, unfortunately, does not define Zambians. It simply defines companies where shareholders are different. I'll quickly go, Mr. Speaker, for the benefit of the members of this August House, to the legal provisions that must be changed in order for the motion to apply in as far as empowering Zambians is concerned. Number one, Mr. Speaker, Section 6 of the Mines and Minerals Development Act empowers the current Minister of Mines to appoint a mining licensing committee. Now, when you go to Section 6, Mr. Speaker, it does not talk about the committee being given instructions to give certain licenses to Zambians. It simply says the committee shall be put in place, and when bids are announced by the minister that can you now apply for licenses, any individual or company can apply. It does not exclusively limit the mining rights on precious minerals to Zambians. So my first proposal, in addition to what has been moved by the mover, is that Section 6 of the Mines and Minerals Development Act should be amended to support this very important motion which seeks to empower Zambians. Section 13, Mr. Speaker, refers to which areas should be covered under a citizen-empowered company, citizen-influenced company, and a citizen-owned company. Section 13, Mr. Speaker, again does not talk about mineral rights or mining rights for Zambians to undertake development in precious minerals. So Section 13 should be amended to support the motion that has been moved by the mover. Section 17 of the Act, which is a very interesting act, Mr. Speaker, empowers the Zambian government to create institutions to acquire mining rights. So the Zambian government can create an institution or a company and begin buying the different precious minerals that Zambians will be given to mine. So I propose that further to this provision, Section 17 should be expanded to provide for Zambians to undertake mining and provide these minerals to any Zambian government institution. Mr. Speaker, further to the provisions that I've referred to, Section 19 of the Mines and Minerals Development Act only gives authority to the minister to run an advert, to invite people that would want to participate in precious minerals or anything else. It does not specify that those licenses will be given to Zambians. So I propose that Section 19 should be amended to support the motion that has been moved by the mover. Section 29, which I believe other stakeholders may wish to refer to, does not specify that mining rights shall be given to Zambians. It simply says artisanal mining will be reserved for cooperatives. Small-scale mining will be reserved for citizen-owned, citizen-influenced, and citizen-empowered. It does not specify, and this is why the mover has moved this motion, because we want mining rights to be provided for on special minerals for Zambians. So I propose that Section 29 should be amended to provide for what the mover has proposed. Section 30 of the Act, again, does not specify. It simply says, for someone to get a license for artisanal mining, the area for mining should be from 1 cadastre to a maximum of 2, and it ends there. So Section 30 has to be amended so that the vision of the mover of the motion is ably captured. Section 34. Section 34 specifies the duration of the license. Again, Mr. Speaker, the law is simply saying if you get an artisanal license, it will be valid for 2 years. It does not specify what you will be able to do with that license in as far as minerals which are precious are governed. So I wish to propose that Section 34, further to the duration of the license, should actually limit this provision to those who wish to undertake mining for special minerals. Lastly, as I wind up, Mr. Speaker, Section 42, under subsection 5, refers to a gold penning certificate. Subsection 5 is very clear that what takes precedence is a mining license. So if someone has a gold penning certificate today, and there's a company that applies for a mining license, the law is very clear under subsection 5 that the license will be issued instead of the gold penning certificate. What these provisions entail, Mr. Speaker, as I wind up debate, is that further to the vision of the mover of the motion, there are provisions in the current law that are not sufficient. Is the law sufficient to deal with the interests of our people? The mover has ably indicated what has to be achieved. I feel that the current provisions are inadequate, and I hope that people who will sit down to analyze whether this motion should be supported or not should take time to read the provisions. And the provisions, in my view, Mr. Speaker, are inadequate. The people of Kamfinsa ably support the motion that has been moved by the Member of Parliament for Mpika. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.